Frogs are also another type of closure, usually used on coats, but if reduced in size, also look nice on blouses. You can purchase frogs, but let's learn how to make one. Choose your cord or trim according to what you feel will result in a pleasant-looking frog. Frogs are made by simply forming equal-sized loops large enough to slip your button through. Or, if you don't want to use a button, you can create a ball button with cording. Draw a template for the size of the loops you want. For sewing bag chores, you can use a copy of the template in your Level 6 handout. Use one piece of your 10-inch cording and form your first loop, having some excess pinned up and out of our way. Pin the turning point of the first loop and the center point. Now form a second loop, pinning in place next to the previous cording. Pinning your center point and place the excess to the left in preparation for the third loop. What we are looking here is the wrong side of our frog. I like to secure it lightly in place as I'm going along, making sure the stitching is not going to show on the right side. Go to the center and stitch it in place. To lightly secure it. Now, place the starting cord on top, because we want to hide it on the underneath side, and secure that. And trim your end. You can secure it again if you think it needs it. Now, form your third loop, making sure you are following your template. And that they all even. Adjust any of the loops if necessary, like I have to adjust that first loop there, it was coming loose. Okay? And secure this in place. It's sometimes difficult to work in this area, just do the best you can. Make sure that the thread that you're stitching is not going to show on the right side. Okay? Form your fourth loop. You may want to use your seam gauge to check that it's even with the other loops. But most importantly, look at it, make sure it's pleasing, and secure that. Now carefully holding the center, remove from the work area. Shaping it so it looks pleasing. And securing again. Frogs can be looped in any manner that you find pleasing. When you have it all secured, cut away your ends, hide your beginning and your ending, okay? Then take your scrap 5 inches by 5, fold in half with the fold being our finished edge again, and slip stitch the frog securely to the garment from the underside so that one loop extends beyond the front edge. To make a ball button, take another 10-inch piece of cording and pin down about 1 inch away from the left end and form a loop with the long end on top. To make a second loop to the right, form it again on top and have the long end go underneath the starting point. Looks a little bit like a pretzel. For the third loop, simply weave the end between all the loops, starting with on top and weaving. Remove your pin and pull, and you have a ball button. You can knot it one more time to hold it in place. Then slip stitch your ends to the underside and trim. Attach to your scrap and pin this sample to your sewing bag for future reference.